Well, you know they're appealing to Gen Z because they used a fucking TikTok song as the trailer
That's
song,
true.
which that was my bonus. That's one of my bones to pick.
So I
It
completely
was so
forgot about
stupid.
that is so true.
I love TikTok. That's not my problem.
I do.
My
love
problem
TikTok too.
is like when corporate EA is like, "Hey, look at us.
We're hip.
We're
get
hip.
it.
Here's Peyton Hillis. Here's TikTok."
Yeah, you know what? That just goes
It feels
against,
slimy. I don't know.
just goes against their Gen Z marketing scheme.
Yeah.
Nobody from Gen Z knows who Peyton Hillis is.
Exactly.
Or what he did.
And it has no relevance to the game. It has nothing to do with it.
It makes no sense. It's so stupid.
But, well, okay. As far as the Patrick Mahomes thing, I guess I kind of agree. I think that if we look at Patrick Mahomes right now, he is on pace to be better than Brady. I
agree with that.
He's on pace to be.
He's got 2 appearances, 1 Super Bowl.
It's like
7 and 11 appearances.
I think so, but he's got it's like a Jordan LeBron kind of thing. Yeah. Is how I kind of look at it. So I don't agree with it, but I can give it a hall pass on that. I more so have a problem with the TikTok song. I have a problem with the fact that both of them have already been on the cover of Madden.
Oh, that's so true.
They both had their own covers already.
I totally forgot that Mahomes was on it. He was on 20.
He was on 20, and Brady was on, I think, 19 or 18.
19 was Antonio.
Okay, so 18.
That's incredible, right?
So that was stupid. I didn't like that. And the just going further into the trailer itself, I know we're on next gen consoles now. We're on Xbox Series S and X, and we're on PS5. The graphics didn't look substantially better to me. They looked like they put some effort into like the crowd not looking like a Nintendo GameCube graphic as much anymore.
Awesome.
But like the gameplay looked. I'm playing Madden I'm playing Madden 20 still with Mahomes in the cover. I'm still playing that one because I've not bought anything past that. I got it on sale. It looks the same on my PS4.
Can I throw something out there? I think graphics in video games
you hit a plateau.
Have peaked at this point.
I don't.
You don't think that they? You think that they
not
are
with this?
better?
Not with this bum ass. Are you kidding me? If Madden has not peaked with graphics, they could do better.
I'm saying graphics in general.
4K is pretty much like the point. I feel like that our eyes can even perceive detail. I think I've heard that before. So like it's as much as we can actually take in. So yeah, in that sense, I think we're reaching the plateau. I think things are still maybe like improving, just like maybe lighting is improving, maybe like textures are improving, maybe like more details are improving, like that kind of stuff. But like as far as like realism, like we're definitely getting to a point where things are like kind of starting to get
realistic as it can get.
But that the graphics fine. I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world. It just when I saw the trailer, I just was like, oh, here's another Madden game where they're trying to be like cool. Look at us, Gen Z. Go buy our game.
We incorporated 12 new TikTok dances into your touchdown celebration.
And then that trailer, they didn't release anything else. They just were like, more to come on franchise, because that's what everyone was pissed off about. This is probably a good segue. Last year's Madden 21 with Lamar Jackson on the cover was the lowest reviewed Madden game in the history of the series. One of the lowest reviewed video games of all time. IGN's, I think it was at the bottom of IGN's scores of any game for a good chunk of time. I mean, this game was that
ridiculed. I mean, by critics, but more so by fans.
And it's not because like the game was like unplayable and there were a ton of like that like kind of issues going on. It was the fact that they put some new skin on like the same game from 2 years ago and re-released it, and they added a new microtransaction based game mode, and that was the only thing that they added.
And it's really been, I feel like, I haven't played anything since Madden 19. I played a little bit of Madden 20, and I've shared this story with you. But I played one game with the Lions versus the Chargers in franchise mode, and Derwin James caused 4 fumbles within the first quarter. So I immediately deleted the game off my system out of frustration. It feels like this game has just been a reskin of the previous year since 2012, 2011.
Well, no, because I probably a little later than that because they were on on like the Xbox 360 PS3 days. Like I know they were incorporating a new engine for their for the game, and like they had kind of been making some improvements visually and presentation wise, but they were ripping the guts out of things like franchise mode. They were kind of like dumbing that stuff down and focusing more on Ultimate Team, which is a whole nother can of worms.
I mean, that's really what caused the whole downfall of the game.
Yeah, the focus on that as the
Ultimate
primary
Team.
game mode, right?
And for people who don't know, Ultimate Team is their micro transaction based portion of the game where you can create your own team by collecting cards. It's like trading cards, and to get these cards, you can work for them or you can pay for them. And so the Gen Zers take their mother's credit card and then just load up on microtransactions in this game, and that's how they found a whole new revenue source
and
is even more profitable than the game itself.
And you might be saying to yourself, well, gee, Alan Lucas, games are doing this all the time now. Fortnite is doing this. Star Wars Battlefront 2 did it. Like, games do this every day now. But Madden has been doing it for about 10 years. They were pioneers with this thing. They
really were.
Ultimate Team was like, they had this thing going a while ago. And I really, when Xbox Live on the 360 and like PS3 Online like really kicked off, like that's when you notice that drastic shift. I think as far as reskinning the game, like you had said.
I just want to do one quick little point on that too. The difference between what Fortnite and like what Warzone and all those other games are doing is that they put out new content that people want to buy, whereas Madden basically just releases the same thing every year. Like Ultimate Team, like it changes a little bit here and there, but for the most part, the microtransaction is you are paying for these cards. Like it's the same exact thing year after year.
I would say the last 5 or 6 games, it has been a roster update, new uniform update if the team is in a new uniform or a new stadium. They haven't changed the commentators in forever. It's been the same guys forever now. And it's not good commentary, by the way. It's not good.
I hate those two.
It's actually probably some of the worst in the series, in my opinion.
Bring back Gus Johnson.
Hell yeah, that'd be dope. Loud. I would love that.
But you know what? One of the funniest Reddit posts I've ever seen is when somebody took and they did it screen by screen shot of what happens when you win the Super Bowl in franchise mode.
It's so bad.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. 6 games. It is a shot by shot, the same exact thing through all 6 games, except for the last one where it doesn't show Super Bowl champions at the end.
Yeah, they got rid of it.
They got rid of it.
You know what else they got rid of? They got rid of, I think it was in 20 because I'm still playing that one. They used to have like the jets flying over like the stadium, like during the anthem and stuff. They got rid of all that.
Yeah.
All the Super Bowl.
Continuously stripping it out.
It feels like another just regular franchise game.
Yeah.
Except there's this trophy at the end and a little bit of confetti. And that's it. That's the only change.
Same exact celebration as you've been doing for the past 6 years.
You can win the Super Bowl 8 years in a row in franchise, and your players will do the same stupid handshake.
Exact animations.
They don't change it. And like I work in an animation field, like in my real job, like my day job, and you can make 3 to 4 preset animations where you just change a couple things, and it's 3 to 4 different scenarios. They have a whole. I could do that with things like. They have a whole studio of programmers, and this game is one of the most profitable franchises on like the planet of Earth, probably when it comes to video games.
100%.
And it's been laziness for so long. This trailer, like I know that it seems like they're maybe with franchise trying to make more of an effort there, and that is the one prop I will give this new game is like at least they're by force because of last year's game, they're being forced to put more resources into franchise. And those improvements, they did a kind of a breakdown of some of the new features in it, and they said that they're going to continue to push new updates for that as the season goes. they introduced like coordinators and like
Yeah,
a lot of that stuff.
So I think like the major ones that they've announced so far is that you now have a skill tree for your head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and I believe trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I
think training staff,
player development is what it gets down to. NCAA 14 had that in their game.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had skill trees for your head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. So that's a step in the right direction.
EA made that too, so I'm going to promise that they're going to have ripped some of those assets and just repurpose them and then reskin them, and then it's the same tree.
Oh my god, I will die if they do that.
I would put money on it.
Yeah,
that was what they're going to do.
They fully updated the scouting, which actually looks very in depth. You can whittle it all the way down to like regions and all that sort of stuff. So like the scouting is a lot different from how it's been in the past.
I will say though that the player, I watched that part in the scouting and they showed some like sample auto generated players, and I think the photos for the players are those exact same butt fucking ugly models that they've had for like years, and the names are like just
I would not be shocked if they have the same exact faces. These computer generated faces that they've had in there for a decade.
And you'll have like a guy who's like the number one prospect and he's like a quarterback. He's like some skinny white dude. His name will be like Scott Martinez. And it's like, it makes no sense.
And he's got cornrows.
Yeah, and it's still there. It's like still looks the same from that.
Some of the names that you get out of that.
Oh, they're horrible. They're so bad.
It's so bad.
I've had ones that are so bad that I can't even take it. I change it. I've had guys that have been such terrible names that I change the name of the guy. I'm like, this is so bad. I can't do
stupid.
it. But yeah, the scouting does look like there's definitely some extra resources put in.
A huge overhaul, which is nice. And then I think the other big one that's come out is that home field advantage actually means something now. So,
that's cool too. I like that.
Much like how players have had an X factor, if your home stadium is one that gets loud on weekends, then your home stadium will have some sort of X factor as well.
That's cool. I also saw that there was like a thing where you can have players kind of like get on hot streaks through the season, and it kind of like influences how they like grow and develop as players with experience and stuff, which I think that's kind of new, because you've always been able to like, you could have Russell Wilson throw 9 touchdown passes a game, and then it would always just be standard development. It would not be like, oh, he's really been balling out, he really gets more experience. Like, I don't think that's ever been
the case. I think they're introducing some sort of aspect where you start to get more realistic like storylines with players too.
I saw that
exactly.
They had like a clip of like Cliff Kingsbury like answering media questions, and like if you're a coach, like you're doing that stuff now, I guess. And man, I can't wait to see some great stuff generated there. Because like, remember when they tried a couple years ago to do like the QB like, road to glory kind of mode, where it was like back. Oh really?
Yeah, face of the franchise.
Yeah, that yes. And those storylines, those
were so bad.
They're horrible.
But to be fair, those are horrible in almost every single game.
The graphics,
sports.
Sports games. But 2K makes much more of an effort when it comes to the presentation of it and the realism of like Twitter, the realism of the questions of the things that your player would be asked. You can make them look crazy looking and it's funny, but like Madden, it's just bad on every level.
It is. 100%.
All the questions are like so they're not even generic. They're worse than generic.
Yeah.
The player models like of people you're talking to, you're like, I remember there's this one part and like the road to glory. I keep saying road to glory, but the face of the franchise mode where you're like in college and you're talking to like this kid who's like your number one fan or some shit, and like the kid looks so derpy, and it's like you're supposed to be like talking to like this kid, like it's so inspirational, but like
all you want to do is punch him right in the
face. They look terrible. They look like N64 graphics. It's so bad.
The other cool thing about, well, I guess I can't really say it's cool. It's nice that they've expanded it out, but that now allows you to play running back, wide receiver, quarterback, or linebacker.
Oh, in the face of the franchise mode.
Whereas before, I think
just
the
QB.
first 2 times it was just QB.
That's cool. I like that. Sure.
You know what you brought up? You made me start thinking about it, and I've just been playing this game so much recently that I can really talk to it. But I have been playing NBA 2K21 for like the past month very heavily. It's like the only game I play now.
Also, not a perfect game, but a vastly better game.
Immensely better.
Yeah.
When you think about the detail, they have had in their My League mode, they have had the ability to hire and fire your CFO, your assistant GM, your head coach, your assistant coach, your trainer, and your scout for multiple years now. Their trading system absolutely beats the living piss out of Madden's. You can literally just select a player on your team, and you can see all the different offers that you can get for them. You can go to another team, select that player, see all the things that they would be willing to take from you for that player. The social media aspect is a lot better. The idea that, like the relocation and setting up, different teams is immensely better. You think about it, you go on to Madden and you like want to create a new team, you want to expand the league, or you want to relocate another team. Can you go on to like a community hub where people upload artwork? And
no.
2K,
you just made my stomach like curl, because like I remember when you want to do that, let's say you want to be an expansion team and you want to go to London.
Yeah.
You get like 2 or 3 preset options, and they look like dog shit, and the names are terrible, and the uniforms. Oh my god! When you pick one of those teams and you play those uniforms, they're worse than high school football uniforms. Yeah. They are so butt ugly. Absolutely. It's crazy.
2K, they are so far advanced that you can download full custom like teams where you get the arena, you get the branding, you get the jerseys, you get I can't remember what else, but
that's sick.
It's so much more advanced than Madden. It's absurd.
That's really sick.
So we're always pulling for 2K to somehow get the rights to that game.
Yeah, that would be. Well, I don't know what the contract situation is, but yeah, that would be such a dream to have them making a game. Look, on the whole, I mean, I play a lot of Madden. Like I play it a couple hours a week for sure. I play it like 3 to 4 hours a week, I'd say. I have a franchise going most of the time, and I'll just jump off, do new ones, etc. Mm-hmm. We've done online franchises together. We've played each other head to head. Like I've been playing it for a long time, and I probably will continue to do so. I haven't bought a new game in 2 years, 2 years. I guess it's encouraging to see that they are trying by force. Again, need to reiterate.
Yeah, it is 100%.
They are being forced to do this.
Yes.
That they are going to expand franchise mode, because that's the game mode I play the most. But everything else made me either irritated or I was just like, it looks the same.
Yeah.
And that's just what they've been doing now for 6+ years, probably. They've been doing the same game. So I'm probably not going to buy this one either. I'm not going to buy it until I can get it for dirt cheap at GameStop. I can get it for $5 at GameStop where it's on sale in PlayStation Store. I can get it for cheap, or I get it for a gift or something, but I'm not going to go spend $60 on this game.
No, totally fair.
Yeah. And I promise you the reviews are going to be, they're going to buy out good reviews. It's going
to be up and down. Yeah. Like critics will probably vote it up high. I think a lot of Madden fans will be blinded by these couple of additions and be like, oh, this is phenomenal. This is the best Madden game in years, which honestly, it probably will be the best Madden game in years.
Well, just by the fact of what they're doing compared to other games, it's going to be the best Madden game in years.
This will be the best Madden.
But that bar is so low.
But it's so low, especially coming off last year.
I mean, I would even say, like at its core, I really do love this game. I'm taking a massive shit out on the podcast, and I'm really venting here. It's been a very therapeutic session.
It's very personal to us because like we've grown up on this game. I owned every single Madden from 2003 to 2019. That's 16 years that I was playing this game.
It's the same thing that I'm seeing happen with like Pokemon. It's just they're getting lazy now, and like you see this stuff across the board. It's just like you understand that they could be doing more, but they make the same amount of money anyway, so they just don't.
Yeah.
And now fans are a little more aware of that, and that's why you have Madden getting review bombed and like it's the worst ever. and we're getting these slow changes. And yeah, I guess
it's a step in the right direction, but
I
there's
guess.
so much more to go.
I have a hard time even giving them that.
Yeah.
Because they're being forced to do it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. They're not doing this out of their own volition. They're doing this because they are backed into a corner.
Yeah.
that's
absolutely.
It. So good on you, Madden. I guess franchise looks a little better, but
all right.
Whatever.